I gave the commencement speech some years back at UCSB to humanities, art and humanities. And I told them they were the most important people on this campus. They were the storytellers who would pass on to the next generation and the generation to come the story of the time they lived. And that's why art is so important.
My original relationship with Steinbeck was simple enough. We agreed to work on a photographic book documenting the tragic immigration of a group of migrant workers in the fields of Central California.
If you can bring the feeling of the actor out of the actor, then what goes on the stage is real.
Thinking last night in bed, it's a miracle. We're all sitting here and our hearts are beating and blood is circulating through our arteries and veins, and you get this tremendous design structure throughout nature. And, I mean, we're surrounded by design.
Show the times that they are living in and how they've lived in their art. So in a sense, it's a history of what happened in the past and what's happening in the present and what's going to happen in the future.
How am I going to catch the viewer's eye? They're going to see a figure and they're going to walk on, you know? Mm-hmm. Oh, another figure. Ah! Right?
So we got more famous by concentrating on the pottery for America. See, now I developed that yellow glaze only won the world, so that makes up the United States better. That we're going ahead, we're not backwards. You see, we can produce anything.
I always try to have a feeling of spirit within my work. And you can't force it. It comes on its own.
The more you paint and the more you practice, you do learn to remember these things. Mm-hmm. And then it really becomes fun.
What I consider a real challenge and what I've been striving for my third effort is to put life into that piece. I want that piece when it's done to look like it's got some life to it. It's not just a cold piece of stone that's shaped like a particular object.
I refer to it as kind of frozen animation. It is a journey. It's a journey you take visually before you get on the bus.
that this metamorphosis was a wonderful, wonderful way in which I could express some of the feeling that people have about their own being, and oftentimes wishing that they're either something else or someone else. Very few of us are really satisfied with our lives, I do believe.
But I don't make a perfect sketch, because I allow it to change and grow into something. So it's nothing is tied down technically perfect from the beginning to the end. It changes.
John Nava, who is a teacher of my sons in Redlands, saw a show I had at Ventura College. And he said, why don't you just take the still life and forget the figure and just do that? So I did.
I say so many times, in this work, it's not so much even if you put the line in the right place, it's how you put it down that's so important.
Learn to think about what you're seeing and to feel about what you're seeing.
So pleased or so satisfied than when I am, really kind of dancing in front of it.
If my life has been a search in art for anything, it hasn't been for looking for the spirit inside because I've always thought I could find that. It's been trying to find the right media to communicate what I'm trying to say.
Certain quality of a mind and abstraction in my paintings of landscape. Well, it has a great deal to do with loving the catch trout. Love by exposure.
I knew my father pretty well, but I wonder how other people manage to write these things about people that they've never met.
Right.
Is essentially the misrepresentation of what either Trumbo or the Hollywood 10 stood for.
I became a potter very accidentally. I was engaged to be married to a jerk. I was in Europe for 3 months. And I woke one day and I said, "Oh, you're engaged to be married. You must buy something for your house." I went into an antique shop and bought 6 luster plates. When I returned to America, I went to the Hollywood High School thinking over the weekend that I would make a luster teapot. I immediately saw I couldn't. So to amuse myself, I made a little figure.